Welcome back to the show. Happy Tuesday to you, man. Even to all of the Alabama fans listening to the show. I mean, hell, y'all won 26 games in a row. What, you think you're going to win every damn game? Seriously. That's kind of like the sentiment you get from Alabama fans. We should win every game. And I guess you need to be or feel that your team is putting forth the best effort and you should expect for your team to win to a degree. I kind of back up from that statement a little bit. I do. But golly, damn, can we just win one damn game? 26 games in a row? And you think you thought that Clemson was just going to roll over? Such was not the case. Oh, big bad Alabama. Doesn't Clemson feel like, even you Alabama fans can agree with me on this, I think. Doesn't Clemson feel like kind of like the Buster Douglas of college football? Like nobody in the world thought Alabama was going to lose a game this year, especially how they started off the year when they destroyed USC, which, by the way, the AP final poll has USC as the number 3 team in the country at the end of the season. But it felt like all year long like Alabama was Mike Tyson before he lost to Buster Douglas. Like, it felt like Alabama was, Mike Tyson, that this defense was the best defense of all times. Once again, they had won 26 games in a row. And Clemson had that attitude kind of like Buster Douglas. Like, you remember that fight between Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson where everybody before then came into the ring scared. Like, they had already lost the fight before they got into the ring with Mike Tyson. Buster Douglas was loose. He was jumping around. He was fancy-free. He didn't have a care in the world. His mama had just died. He didn't fear Mike Tyson one single bit. And the rest, as they say, is history. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. That's exactly what it felt like. It felt like everybody in the world, like Alabama was this just monster of a team, like they were unbeatable. Kind of like David and Goliath. There's nobody going to beat Alabama. One of my chapter brothers said it yesterday in this little chat group we got. They were asking who you think going to win. And he was like, man, I want Clemson to win this, that, and the other, but ain't nobody going to beat Alabama. He said it so emphatically, like, how dare we even think that somebody was going to beat Alabama? And the rest is history. Any given Sunday, or any given Monday night for this case. I'm going to read some messages. I don't even want to talk no more about stinking-ass Steve Sarkisian and him deflecting and blamed on other people. But whatever. Basically, in a nutshell, I'm not going to even go over the quote. Steve Sarkisian basically said that, the players didn't execute well, this, that, and the other. He doesn't think him being the offensive coordinator really affected the outcome. Yeah, right, bro. Of course, that's what you're supposed to say. What else you supposed to say? Let me read some messages. I'm going to focus on the Stewies and their messages in the chat as opposed to those Steve Sarkisian. From T-Dub. T-Dub says, when I played football in high school, I hated those fake mad dudes. Same dudes that didn't do his job on the field missed me with that BS. I guess he's talking about Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah, punching holes in walls. We've all had cats like that on our team, punching lockers, punching holes in sheetrock. Whatever, man. Sit your ass down somewhere. From DC Cavalier. Listening to this show and the Feinbaum show, which is like a funeral for Bammers. But funny line by a guy who says somewhere in Africa there are 10,000 shirts headed to people that say Alabama 2017 college football championships. Yeah. Yep. Every year that happens. Right. Every year that happens, you do know that, right? That they make up the shirts, the championship shirts and hats before time in case, whatever team wins. They can't predict exactly who's going to win, so they had all of these shirts and hats made up for Clemson and for Alabama. And the team that loses, you never see them. Supposedly, and they've done stories on it before, they send all of that stuff to poor countries, third world countries. And so, yeah, right now, someplace in some little small country in Africa, a kid just got a package, man. Alabama, 2017 National Champions. Yeah, from Andre Elam, Odell Beckham Jr. marked the wall before the game so he knew where to punch. Right. You damn sure ain't punching no stud. You ain't that stupid. Right. He is not that stupid. I do not believe that Odell Beckham Jr. is that stupid or that mad where he would just arbitrarily punch a wall, risking breaking his whole damn shoulder off. No, hell no. Let's see what else we got here in the chat room. Spreaker.com. From Miss Mocha Bella, Gilliard, I lost a bet to dollars. What did y'all bet, Mocha? From 334 Bama Boy. Oh, good afternoon, 334 Bama Boy. He says, LD, the last somebody declared that statue tree were poisoned and burned. I'm not exactly sure what he's referencing. From Rough Buff, those Clemson hats were horrible. Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but yeah, I do remember them not being that aesthetically pleasing as in past years. Maybe they were like a little shiny on them or something like that. They had a shiny kind of like tinge to them. From RC, Big L, maybe so, but Douglas did get up and he proceeded to whip Tyson's ass. And he was clearly winning before the knockdown. Another good analogy. Like Clemson was down in this game last night by 2 touchdowns. Bo Scarborough was breaking off these long runs, and everybody left Clemson for dead like the game is over. Oh, Alabama's just going to go and do their things, and Clemson just kept fighting. They kept fighting. They kept throwing left hands. They threw right hands. They threw uppercuts. They threw body shots. They just kept fighting. They just kept fighting. They just kept fighting. Just like Buster Douglas. Great analogy. Great analogy by me. That's exactly what it was like. Gary G. Money Joyner. That's right. Mark Rick and Mike Bobo didn't see Watson as a quarterback for UGA, so he went to Clemson. That's why UGA ain't win no championships. All right, well, we can get into that when we come back from the break. But a heated debate on a lot of Georgia loyalists around here. You do know that Deshaun Watson is from Georgia and that Cam Newton's from Georgia, that Blake Sims is from Georgia. You do know that, right? Several other great quarterbacks, dual-threat quarterbacks, where Mark Richt just basically just looked over because Mark Richt was trying to find the next Dan Marino, which he found a lot of them. Not to Dan Marino's level, but he found a lot of those traditional 6'3", 230-pound quarterback. Got one right now, Jacob Easton. Got one right now. While these other cats leave the state and win national championships. You better get past yourself. We'll talk about it up next, though, a little bit more in depth. Team Broadcasting X Squad. Doug, 334 is referring to the Toomer's Corner trees. They were both poisoned and recently burned. Oh, I didn't know they were burned. Okay, he's talking about the story. I can't even remember the guy's name now. But after the Iron Bowl a couple years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago now, a guy called into the Paul Feinbaum show, the way the story went, and bragged about and acknowledged on air that he had poisoned these historical trees on Auburn's campus. After Auburn, I think it was the year when Cam Newton won the Heisman and went to the national championship, and they won the national championship. He went and actually poisoned these trees on Auburn's campus. I think he ended up going to jail maybe, but that's what they're talking about. So evidently somebody went and burned the damn trees? Damn, that's hardcore. Really? I mean, is it that serious? It is that serious in Alabama. It is. It's that serious in Alabama. Were you risking going to jail just to get back at your fellow, state football team fans by burning down these symbolic trees? It's crazy. It's really kind of creepy when you think about it. Really? Is that serious? Really? You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. All right, so we get back. I do want to get into it, man. I want to talk about the success that a couple of these Georgia kids have had playing quarterback for other programs in college football. We'll talk about it up next. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Don't go away.
I try to do that, but when I keep it simple, it sounds like something's lacking. So I go back and listen to the tracking, do a few subtractions, grab my pad and pen, write a new line, add it in. I can't say that again. I already rhymed this word with that word, so this time I gotta find a new way to flip it. Is it that serious? I don't know, but I'm not trying to kick a bunch of freestyle flows. I'm trying to grow as an artist, charisma and swagger, catch you off guard. I don't look like a rapper, take my picture. I'm not trying to look hard. I never been behind bars, never tag train yards with a marker, a spray can in hand. I'm an MC, y'all. I am who I am.
To whom it may concern, back in the days. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all keep on faking the funk, back in the days. I'm going way back in the days. This goes out to anybody. Just get back.
Microphone check, 1, 2. What is this? It's friends first business and friends come first. I never thought this music would be lucrative. I didn't know if I was stupid or intuitive. Crazy a little bit, but maybe he's brilliant. Drawing the blueprint to build this as a little kid when I was 15. Hip-hop was a dream, nobody voted for me to be the prom king or class president. I was a West Coast resident. Moved to the East, hip-hop was more prevalent. Living in New Jersey, my junior year. High school dropout, my future's unclear. Timberland boots, yo, I couldn't play ball. I was at the record store, never catch me at the mall, saving lunch money to buy fresh cassettes. That's why I stayed hungry to make the next step.
To whom it may concern,